Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my list of top 10 Nike shoes that you can get right now for basketball. Obviously this is just my opinion, so if you disagree with this list, tell us what your list would be down in the comment section below. And if you guys want to get any of these shoes, I try to leave a link in the description box as well. And let's get this list started off right away with number 10, and that's going to be the Precision 4 coming in at 70 bucks. So obviously the Precision 3 was Donny Boy's favorite shoe of all time. No, I'm just kidding. But he really liked playing in that shoe, and I was very surprised. He's the one that tested it, and I was pretty damn curious, but I never really got around to getting the Precision 3. And then the Precision 4 came out, and I was like, let me try that, right? So I tried it, and it's a damn nice shoe, especially for 70 bucks. So as far as the price goes and bang for your buck for performance, it's up there, right? So you're really not going to find any other shoes in this price point, I guess, from like Nike or like the major brands with this good performance, right? So the traction is really good, also durable. The cushioning setup was okay, right? So it's basically just a full-length like Phylon, and it's very low to the ground. There's a little bit of compression, a little bit of bounce, but like impact protection wasn't great because I was playing outdoors, and my feet would hurt a little bit, you know, and not horrible or anything, but I would say impact protection could be a little bit better. But you really can't complain. It's a $70 shoe, and they're not gonna put any tech in the cushion setup, right? So the cushion is okay, and then the materials are solid as well. I mean, it's like kind of a shit mesh, you know. It's not the best quality material, but it gets the job done. And on foot, it feels great, you know. It's like soft, it's thin, it's also pretty breathable as well, and the overall shoe is just so light and minimal. And also like the heel to toe transition, it just feels very fluid, right? So it's just like a very responsive and quick shoe that I could play in and not really worry about all too much. So that's why it made the list at number 10. All right, moving on to number 9, it's the Lebron Soldier 14 coming in at 140 bucks. But overall, the Lebron Soldier 14, I would say, is like one of my favorite Lebron Soldiers, like performance-wise. So the 13 was really nice. Also the 12 was super nice, but the cushioning setup wasn't the best, right? And also like the Lebron Soldier line was never really known for having good cushioning. Like Nike always puts a crazy zoom in the forefoot and the heel, but you really never could feel it, right? But the LeBron Soldier 14, they put a crazy big zoom in the forefoot, and it's not one where it's like just where the ball of your foot is. It's like your entire forefoot. It feels top loaded, feels bouncy, it feels awesome. It feels very similar to the Jordan 34, and I really like that. The heel is you know, there's really nothing in the heel, but the heel to toe transition is nice. The material is also very thin but super supportive. I just don't really like the lacing system. The lacing system, I think, is pretty unintuitive, and I wish it had some straps, you know. Like in the LeBron Soldier like 13, you just have straps and you're just good to go, you know. But yeah, overall the performance was solid and the aesthetics are nice. The price is just a little bit high, and I think for the tech that you're getting, the price is a little high, but the performance was good. All right, moving on to number 8 is the Kyrie Low 3 coming in at 110 bucks. And the Kyrie Low 3 definitely grew on me a little bit. I feel like the Kyrie Low 2 still looks a little bit better, but the strap, I guess, is going on me, and I really like the overall silhouette. The traction is super good, just not durable, so just watch out for that. The cushioning is trash though. It has a forefoot and heel zoom unit, but yeah, it's like every other Kyrie where you can't really feel the zoom unit at all, and the foam is super stiff. So yeah, the cushioning is pretty ass. The materials are pretty damn nice though. The material in the forefoot is like a textile material, which is like a good amount softer and a little bit thinner than Kyrie Low 2. So that feels better overall for me. And also like the overall feeling of the shoe feels a little bit better to me than the Kyrie Low 2. I guess besides the strap just adds a little bit of bulk and doesn't really do all too much. It gives you a little bit more support in the midfoot area, but it doesn't really do anything. I feel like it's just more for like aesthetic reasons. But yeah, obviously support and all that is really good, and you get that also curvature too. So like if you like the Kyrie Low 2, you're gonna like the Kyrie Low 3. All right, moving on to number 7 is the KD Trey 5.8 coming in at $90. Super cheap shoe, and you're getting a very good performance shoe. The outsole is super durable, and not only that, but has awesome traction even on an indoor court. The cushioning is also super nice. They're using full length Renew cushioning, And although it does bottom out pretty quickly, it's still nice while it lasts, and the materials, especially in the forefoot, are really nice. I would say the support isn't the best though. So if you're like a bigger dude and you need a lot of support in your shoes, it's not the best. But other than that, everything else about that shoe was awesome. Super light as well. I believe it was like 9-10 ounces. And also, in my opinion, it's one of my favorite shoes aesthetically on this list. So yeah, the KD Stray 5.8 is solid. Alright, moving on to number 6 is the Zoom Freak 2, coming in at 120 bucks. Some colorways are going for 130 bucks. And it's a solid performer. The aesthetics grew on me definitely, and some of the colorways that are coming out are so dope. And I really like that big swoosh. I still don't like that heel part with the Phylon because I feel like it copied the PG1 a little bit, but it still doesn't look bad. You know, the PG1 was definitely a good looking shoe, and I really enjoyed playing in that shoe. You know, the cushioning wasn't the best, but if you're looking for a responsive cushion with a nice little bounce in the forefoot, then I mean it's like the PG1 and the PG2. So if you like those, and the cushioning setup in the Zoom Freak 2 is very similar. The traction was very good. The outsole was overall pretty durable, besides I guess the little nubs, but you should be able to get away with playing on an outdoor court. The materials are also very nice. Especially comparing it to the Zoom Freak 1. They definitely up the quality. It's thin, it feels comfortable on foot, and it's supportive. I mean, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo's shoe, so obviously he needs a lot of support. And also it's pretty interesting like how like minimal and light that shoe feels, even though Giannis isn't like a guard. Even though he's like a big dude, you would think he would want like a very big and puffy shoe, kind of like the Zoom Rise. But I guess he kind of opted for like a more minimal shoe. But yeah, the Zoom Freak 2, I really enjoyed playing in. Alright, moving on to number 5 is the Kyrie 6, coming in at 130 bucks. The traction is phenomenal. I love the outsole curvature. It picked up a little bit of dust though. It picks it up pretty frequently, but if it's just a light wipe. So you just gotta remember to wipe. If you do that, you'll be good to go on a dusty court. The cushioning is pretty nice. You know, it feels like a lot of Jordan shoes with a very large zoom unit in the forefoot with the zoom turbo. Like, if that feels great in the forefoot. The heel is terrible though. So if you do heel strikes, just watch out for that. And I guess it's a pretty loaded around cushion as well. The materials are nice. In my opinion, I feel like the overall upper is just a little too thick and a little too cumbersome for me personally, especially comparing it to like, I guess like the Kyrie 4, like the Kyrie 3, which was a lot more like thin and minimal. Because like in the ankle area, they added a lot of padding as well in the 6. So that's why it's a little bit lower on the list, because it just feels a little bit bulkier and a little bit heavier than I would like personally. And also with the addition of the midfoot strap, that really doesn't help either. But if you're looking for crazy good traction, crazy support with the outsole curvature, and obviously if you've played in the Kyrie 6 plays like a Kyrie, so it's a solid option. But just watch out for the things that I just said about the Kyrie 6. Alright, moving on to number 4, and this is kind of a surprise, but it's the Renew Elevate, and it's going for only 80 bucks. Yes, it is a budget model, and it's this high up on the list because it's an incredible performer. The outsole has a great bite. I mean, it slides out a little bit if you do really hard lateral movements, but for the most part, it has very good traction. The cushioning is my favorite part about this shoe, right? So they're using a dual blend cushioning setup, and maybe that's why it's so nice, because it feels nicer than the KD Stray 5.8, and the KD Stray 5.8 is using a full length Renew foam. The Renew Elevate, like the name suggests, uses full length Renew with like a dual blend, I guess, like in the heel. But then like the heel cushioning is very bouncy, has a lot of compression, impact protection is great, but also court feel is good. And like for some reason, like opposite of the KD Stray 5.8, which like bottomed out pretty quickly, the Renew Elevate still has a good amount of bounce. Like I'm still playing it and it still feels really nice. So I don't really know if they like switched up the compound or something, or like dual blend has something to do with it, but the cushioning is incredible. I love it. The materials are okay. I mean, obviously quality wise, you're not gonna get great quality materials for 80 bucks, especially from Nike, but they definitely get the job done. It feels great on foot. And also another thing I really like about the material is that there's a lot of ventilation. You have a good amount of airflow in it, so it's not a super hot shoe. The materials are overall pretty thin, and it conforms to your foot very well. And now on the lateral side of the shoe, the cushioning comes up, you get a little bit of sidewall action, so you get good lateral containment. So I mean, there's really nothing about this shoe that like I can say bad about. You know, it's light as well, super light. I believe it was like 10.5 ounces or something. Very minimal, but also great cushioning and traction. So yeah, I mean, it's a great performer. All right, moving on to number 3 is going to be the Kyrie S2. So it's finally available on Nike.com in the US, but the traction is really nice. As you guys know, the Kyrie 4 traction is insane. You just gotta break it in, but it's not super durable, right? So I was playing on outdoor surface and I was very sad about playing on outdoor surface because it's not durable, and I really like those. So just don't play with them outdoors, but if you're playing with them indoors, you should be fine. The cushioning setup is also pretty damn nice. You got that cush line in the heel, which feels great. I mean, I wish it had like the Zoom turbo unit in it, but you know, it's not a huge deal, right? And also the upper feels a little bit more minimal than the Kyrie 6. I mean, in the ankle area, they're using like the same padding, but like in the forefoot and like, I guess like minus the midfoot strap, although it does have the fly trap strap, it just feels lighter and more minimal to me in the Kyrie S2. So that's why the Kyrie S2 is a little bit higher up on the list. All right, moving on to number 2 is the PG4, and it's going for 110 bucks. Some colorways are going for 120 bucks, and I personally love it. The traction I wish was a little bit better. I mean, if it was like PG3 traction, oh man, the PG4 would definitely be a GOAT performer for me in my opinion, but the traction just wasn't like awesome. You know, I mean, it was good, right? It has a solid bite, but then the bite just wasn't like as good as a PG3 in my opinion, and it picked up a little bit more dust as well. But the cushioning setup is so awesome. Like that full length air strobo unit feels amazing. You get good impact protection, you get good compression, and also like a little bit of bounce. Obviously it's not as bouncy as Zoom, but like once you start like running around in it, it gets a little bouncy. And not only that, but the actual foam is soft as well. It's not like a super stiff Phylon or anything, so that feels great. So I didn't really have any issues with support, but like I stated in my review, I feel like if you're a little bit bigger, you might experience some like lateral containment issues, so just watch out for that. All right, moving on to number 1, and that's going to be the KD13. I believe it's a little bit of an improvement from the KD12. Just a little bit though. The KD12 was awesome, but like it had the traction issues, and a lot of you guys said the KD13 has very good traction on the indoor court. The cushioning is definitely one of my favorite parts about this shoe, and I feel like the cushioning is going to be a lot of people's favorite parts of this shoe as well, right? You get a full length Zoom strobo unit, which feels incredible. You get good impact protection, you get bounce, and it just feels awesome, right? The materials also, like the quality isn't the best, but it's super thin and it's supportive, but the materials feel great on foot, and also it's a pretty damn good looking shoe. So yeah, the KD13 is number 1. So yeah, that's my list of top 10 Nike basketball shoes that you can get right now. Again, if you guys disagree with the list, tell us what your list would be down in the comment section below. And if you guys want to cop any of these shoes, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. But that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.